Welcome. Welcome to your Thriving Heart for Thriving Life Grief Tips. Do you know someone in your life who is going through grief and perhaps at 6 months or 1 year or sometimes down the road, instead of feeling better and better, the person actually having tougher and tougher times. Perhaps at 1 year anniversary, it suddenly become really, really pronounced. Or as time go by, the grief seems to be stronger and feel stronger and stronger. Or perhaps you are experiencing this. And if you or your loved one experiencing this, my heart goes out to you because I can imagine and relate how you feel. And the question is, a lot of people come to me and say, "Why is this? Why am I not better? It's 1 year, it's 2 years, and I actually feel worse every day. And what can we do?" And there's a couple reasons actually that we sometimes feel worse as time goes by and the grief feels stronger with time. And the first is if there is a component of shock at the beginning. A lot of time when we receive some things that's really, really unpleasant news, we've got a little bit, it got into a little bit of a survival mode. And that survival mode help us not feel as much pain. You kind of in a fight or flight mode basically. And when you are in that mode, you don't feel as much pain, including emotional pain. And also depend on what happened. A lot of time we might need to take care of logistics. For instance, your loved one passed away, you might need to take care of logistics at the beginning, even if it's just you got to travel and then the remembrance and this and that. And if you have a lot of paperwork and so forth, this occupied us and put us in constant continuous survival modes in the fight or flight system in our body. And naturally we kind of running on autopilot, and somewhere between running on autopilot and a little bit of numb and a little bit dazed, but you just keep going, so to say. And you don't feel the pain as much when you are doing that. But over time, the shock wears off and the fight or flight system calm down. And then that is when you actually feel your feelings. The feelings that was initially buried by all these other things that's going on. Now you feel the feelings. And this could be weeks later, and this could be months or a year later. And so that's one reason. The other reasons that this can happen for a lot of people, they say, "Well, I didn't have any of those." But what another thing that can happen is, even though in your conscious mind you are fully aware, let's say a loved one has passed away, or perhaps a relationship has completely dissolved, you are fully aware that this is going on. Somewhere in us, in our subconscious, in our heart, so to say, a lot of time we have these things of like, I think this is just a bad dream that I'm going to wake up from. This is just a bad dream I'm going to wake up from. This is just a bad dream that I'm going to wake up from. But as time continues and you continue to not wake up from that dream, the denial, the subconscious denial start to fade and reality settles in, and that's a very painful reality. And also when you have this subconscious denial, you subconsciously having hope. You kind of like, I'm going to wake up from this, I'm going to wake up from this. So not only the reality settles in, you also start to lose hope. Okay, kind of like your heart and your subconscious said, okay, well, it's been 3 months, it's been 6 months, it's been a year. I guess mom really is not coming back because it's been a year. It's been 2 years. Okay, I guess this is not going to turn around. And so as at the same time you have painful reality settling in, you are also your subconscious, even though you're in your conscious mind, your aware mind, you already know that a lot of time we operate our system, our nervous system is still adjusting, and we have the subconscious denial. And now that part of you that was holding on to hope that this is just a bad dream, slowly becoming more and more slowly losing that hope. And that's a very painful thing as to experience as well. Losing hope is a painful experience. And so that is something that can also make you feel the grief stronger and stronger as time goes by. And also the other part is at the beginning when there is a loss, whether it is a loss of a loved one, a loss of a relationship, job, or anything, a lot of time our loved ones, our friends, our acquaintances, they all jump in and they said, oh, let me help you this and let me help you that. So there's a lot of comfort buffers around us. But as time goes by, practically everybody who come to me weeks to months, sometimes 2 years after things happen, they said, you know what, it's so painful because the first couple weeks, everybody's there and you feel comforted. And then before you know it, at 1 month, it seems like half of the people disperse. And then at 3 months, there's barely anybody there. And then before you know it, it seems like everybody has moved forward with their life, but you. And that can be very painful. That can be a very painful experience to say, okay, so now I'm really all alone. Now I'm really all alone without my loved one, without my relationship. And so that is another reason is that the grief you can feel the grief stronger and more over time. And also sometimes as such is life, other things happen in your life. Sometimes something happened with us and then something else happened and something else happened, and then before you know it, you have an accumulations of grief. And we know that grief is not only from a passing of a loved one or divorce or job loss or dire diagnosis. By definitions, grief is the unsettled feeling caused by a loss, a change, and unmet hope. So, for instance, so your loved one passed away, and now you gotta move, and just moving by itself can cause a lot of grief. And when it's combined with this, now you kind of like, okay, there is the loved one passed away. Now I got to move. And then, oh gosh, I move. And then what am I going to do with my fur baby? Or, oh gosh, I move. And then now the new location is not as comfortable. Or no, now that means I cannot see my friend on weekly basis anymore. This is a lot of cause of grief. And we know that grief is cumulative and cumulatively impairing. Grief is cumulative and cumulatively impairing. Each of them make hurt you even more. And it's also amplify. Not only that, grief amplify the pre-existing grief. So in other words, if you were to move on your own without anything else that happened, if just that event, it can cause grief, can cause you to be a bit uncomfortable. But because there is a pre-existing situations, that new grief not only add on, but sometimes it feels like it's amplify everything, because grief is cumulative, and sometimes it's just make everything feel 10 times worse, and it's bring back the pain that of grief that you have not completely recovered from. It's kind of like if you have a wound that you have not completely healed, and then now you pour vinegar or salt on it. It hurts like nobody business, right? And so that is something that can make it really, really, really painful. And of course, my heart goes out to you if this is going on with you. And so these are a few different reasons. And so what are some of the things that you can do? What can in these situations? Firstly, know that you're not doing it wrong, and whether it is triggered by something, which is when you are let's say you are feeling okay and you're feeling okay, and then a 1 year anniversary or 6 month anniversary happen, and then you are triggered and significantly, and then you suddenly notice everything derail, whether it's triggered by that or you simply noticing a progressions of this. And sometimes the grief morph as well. It could be you're not feeling as much emotional pain at some point. You feel a lot of emotional pain, and then you feel less emotional pain. But we know that grief tend to morph. The grief doesn't go away on its own. It a lot of time it morph into something else. So let's say a physical conditions, and then something happen, and then it's just bring you back, and sort of like it's come back all together. And number one is, if this is going on, then please know that there is hope. Even if it has been months, even if it has been years, please know that there is hope. And what are some of the things that you can do to help yourself in these situations? The first would be to know that it's not your fault. Sometimes people feel, what's wrong with me? A lot of people come to me and say, I wonder what's wrong with me. And it's nothing wrong with you. Your heart's broken. You are not broken. So it's not that something wrong with you. It's your heart broken, and you have not have a chance, or have not have allowed yourself the time and energy to invest your time and energy to recover from the grief. But you are not broken. It's your heart's broken. And also, one thing is, if you suddenly miss the person or the individual significantly or something, you can do something where you can write notes, kind of like write letter and to the individual, and that can sometimes help you from missing the person, the individual. As well as, if this is something on and it has been months, then the other thing you would want to do is, and all these times you feel that you are doing okay, but now you discover you don't, you really really would want to allow support and to allow professional support, because what we want to make sure is that this does not continue on, that it does not become complicated, prolonged grief. And a lot of time, if you feel you are okay and you feel you are okay, and then turn out that you're not, that's a lot of times is the one of the common signs of grief turning into complicated, prolonged grief. And the longer it's around, the more challenging potentially it is to recover from. And at the same time, to be very gentle with yourself, not to push yourself, so to say. You want to recover from your grief, but you also want to do it because grief is very unique for each and every one of us. Your grief is unique to you, and nobody out there should say has the right to say you should feel this way and you should be feeling that way. Your feelings unique to you. So as you allow yourself more support, you want to allow yourself to check in and do it in the way that is comfortable for you. Whether you go to a therapist, a grief coach, a support group, or something, if you feel your grief grow stronger and stronger, you want to allow support and allow something. Just listen to your heart, listen to your body, and allow something that feel best, that feel most suitable for you. And this could be something, the combinations of any of those. But also at the same time, just know that most people, being somebody whose specialty is in complex prolonged grief, I see many people with prolonged grief, and just know that even if this has been months or even years or decades, just know that it is possible to fully recover from your grief. Not get over, not just move on, because grief changes us forever. But it is possible to move through and beyond your grief, such that you are not in pain, while you are able to continue, if you choose to love the individual. And actually, when you're not in pain, you are able to be closer and feel the love even more. And as always, if you have any questions, feel welcome to put it in the comment, or if you're not comfortable doing that, feel welcome to email me directly as well at drtanforgrief@gmail.com, as mentioned here, as well as if you find any part of this video useful, please like and subscribe. This way you continue to receive updates. You're welcome to share this video with anyone that you'd like to as well. And this is Dr. BirgitteTan with Joyful Riches Beyond Grief. And I look forward to see you again in the next video.